Man, Paul, it's crazy to think. So many legends to come through this organization. I mean, Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, Andrew McCutchen. It's crazy to think one day when you have kids, you'll be able to tell them you got to play with Andrew McCutchen. But I tell you what, if you play your cards right, one day somebody's going to know your name.
Wow. Thanks, Andrew McCutchen.
Anytime.
30 clubs in 15 days. Starts now.
Bradenton, Florida is our next stop along the way. We are trying to visit all 30 clubs. We have 15 days to do it. It is presented by T-Mobile. We're at Pirates Camp. Chris Young, Lauren Shahadi, first-class organization. They have been rolling out the red carpet all day. And I walked in last year, and I felt like this team's going to be good. Pitching for the first time in a while, ended up last place in the Central, but I don't feel like it told the whole story. What about today gives you optimism for the
I still walk in feeling good, Lauren.
Yeah.
But I look forward to talking to Derek Shelton because I'm truly want to understand where are they in the rebuild right now. You bring in pieces to try to boost the offense. You have this big three at the top with Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, Paul Skenes running the show. You bring in Andrew Heaney, you have Bailey Falter. You have so many weapons to where if they can offensively find a way to put runs on the board, they're going to be in a good spot.
They are looking for their first winning season since 2018, and there's more numbers that stick out. Andrew McCutchen is 6 home runs away from passing Roberto Clemente on the all-time Pirates home run list, and he chatted with the man in this building not too long ago.
Going through the same stuff, try to challenge myself in a lot of different ways because you definitely get to a point where it's, what do I need to do today? And it's easy to just take it to the crib. So, constantly just trying to challenge myself to be here, be better, and just stay around the guys as long as I can.
Man, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you saw guys playing 17, 20 years all the time. Our generation of player, you're really reaching that rarefied air of player, of guys who aren't able to play the game that long. What does it mean for you to be one of the few that are able to have the longevity that you have?
Yeah, it does mean a lot because it is, you are put in a position in today's game to where being able to play that amount of years that I played, it's a challenging. You have to be able to produce, you have to be able to, showcase what you can do on the field. And, it's a little less about the clubhouse guy, the guy who can bring a lot of things that the scorecard isn't gonna show. So that makes it challenging, and obviously the game of baseball is a lot harder now, and but it speaks volumes for myself. So I will have to at times give myself a pat on the back and be like, hey man, you're still doing it. So not me figuring like I have it all figured out. It's showing vulnerability with guys that are younger than me, picking their brains and learning. And people in my position, sometimes that becomes a hard thing to do, but I'm willing to learn because I'm trying to get better.
Right, and when you think of the young players that you have in the clubhouse, not many guys have had the opportunity to see what Pittsburgh looks like when its postseason comes around, see how the city is able to bring it all together. Your first stint with the team, you had the opportunity to see what Pittsburgh looks like with the postseason team. What have you been able to share with your teammates about what that experience is, and what's your motivation to get back there again?
I try to tell them, man. I mean, we get it on a lot. We get it on opening day, and they get to see something that they probably never seen before. 2 years ago, we had the entire city wearing all black, 40,000 fans there, and I basically told them, if you want this, then just go out there and win.
When you think of the people who will probably lead you that way, it's going to be the big three at the top of the rotation.
We're going to be in a position to win a lot of games when they're on the mound. They're going to give us some chances to win. And, when it comes to Paul, I mean, he's a unicorn. He's a guy where you don't see the stuff that he has. He reminds me of a DeGrom. He reminds me of a guy who has really good stuff, can locate it very well, and he doesn't just focus solely on his velocity. He's trying to also pitch. So it's great to see it with a guy that's 23 years old. It's unbelievable. And sometimes you have to take a step back and be like, man, he's only 23.
Yeah. And that's what people were saying about you back when you were a young buck in the big leagues. And I admire the things that you've done in the game. I hope you still got another few years in you. I'm pulling for you. But for right now, we're going to throw it to Lauren, was there another face of your team, Bryan Reynolds.
I feel like I've been interviewing you over the years, Brent, and you are like this. You're never too high, too low. Is that truly how you are, and how do you use that, and why is that the case?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, that's who I am. I don't try to change myself on the field or, in whatever I do. So I think it helps me, in baseball, because baseball's got so many ups and downs. So
just roll with it.
Unless you can stay in the middle, it's obviously going to be better for you.
And you walk around here, 50% of these kids have your jersey on. What do you think of that?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. Growing up, you don't expect that to happen, and you take a step back from everything and look out and see kids wearing your jerseys. It's pretty cool.
There is a young core on the way with this team. At the center of it, Paul Skenes. What's it like watching him work, Bryan?
Yeah, it's special. I think everybody knew he was going to be really good, but getting to see it every day from up close, it's pretty special.
So you faced him in spring, one at bat against him. What's your approach?
Trying to get him closer to me. You got the fastball, runs like that, the splitter. Try to get him, in there, and if it's a slider, try not to swing, because if it starts there, it's going to hit me in the chest.
You're describing him going like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just this way, it's that way, it's down. It's not fun.
There's so much to like about this Pittsburgh team. Good luck to you this
Thanks.
season.
Here with the 2024 Rookie of the Year, Paul Skenes, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Has it all slowed down? I mean, a crazy year last year. You balled out of control, went to every award show. Has life slowed down for you yet?
Settled in. I don't think it's slowed down. It's probably gotten a little faster, but the offseason was nice, but back at it now.
Another spring training, but first one that you know exactly where you're going to be opening day. Last year, you come in making waves, trying to make the team. This year, you know you'll be there. What changes in spring?
Yeah, I mean, the build-up's a little slower, or really a little different. The offseason was a little bit different, and instead of pitching and try to make the team, it's more so pitching to work on stuff a little bit more. So character of spring this year is just a little bit different.
As fans, we've had the great opportunity to see your arsenal on a nightly basis when you're out there on the mound. And normally us as analysts, we're the ones who take over and decide to break down your pitches for you. But if I got you right here, I would love for you to break down your entire arsenal. If we can go through your arsenal, tell us why you use it, how you like to use it, how you like to attack hitters, whatever it may be. So We're going to get right here on this video and let Paul Skenes do his own breakdown. So we'll let you go. We're going to go through pretty much every pitch that you have in the arsenal that you used last season. This is just your four-seamer?
That's my four-seamer. In New York that day, I was running a lot. That one is more the shape that I expect on a changeup. Started throwing it a lot more at the end of the year. Last year, I got some pretty good results on it. Splitter, splinker, sinker, whatever
What's
you
the
want to
difference
call
of
it.
the change and the split?
It's a grip change, obviously, and velo is probably about 5 or 6 miles an hour difference, and the changeup's actually it's got a little less depth.
All right, then we got the slider and the curveball. What is it that you're trying to do with the curveball?
Yeah, just two different shapes. There are guys that see pitches or see spin better vertically and see spin better horizontally, so having two different shapes is good to attack.
And then, hold on, wait a minute. I feel like we've seen an entire arsenal, but there's something else that you're trying to bring into the equation this year. What is this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different look, kind of the same thing. Like I said, certain guys see different spin types better, so yeah, just playing around with it, gonna see where it goes.
And that's the cutter that we're talking about. But as a fan of the game, it's, man, when you got called up, best pitcher in the game from that point. 133 innings, 170 punch outs, sub-2 ERA. Why do you feel the need to add anything else to the arsenal right now?
Yeah, I mean, there were, as good as last year was, stats are great. Strikeouts, ERA, innings, all that's great, but I don't think it tells the whole story. It was something that I've been thinking about really since the beginning of last season in terms of how I can, refine my arsenal and just get hitters out more efficiently, get results more efficiently. So this is something we identified, and now we're just, honing in on it.
I listened to an interview with you on MLB Network Radio, and it said hope doesn't win ball games. The determination that you have for this team to go out here and turn the culture around and get back to the playoffs, what is it that you dream of with this pitching staff?
Yeah, I mean, the pitching staff is what's going to lead us to the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. We have a lot of really good young pitchers, and you know, we're learning our identity now. Learned our identity last year, and you know, just building off, you know, our own successes, which is a cool opportunity. And I mean, it's the truth. Hope doesn't win ball games. I've heard that for a while, and really believe that. And it's a matter of making it happen rather than letting it happen or expecting it to happen.
Well, as for our last one for me, I mean, you think about the defense. You have O'Neal Cruz in center. You have Tommy Pham in left field. When you're on the mound, ideally, are you thinking of an outfielder playing shallow to catch the bloopers, or you want him to play deep to rob the homers?
Yeah, I don't know. Straight up, just keep outs. That's pretty much how I think about
Tommy
it.
Pham, make him earn it. We got Lauren over there with Tommy. Check on him.
I don't know if anything will be hit to Tommy Pham with Paul on the mound, but my goodness, he'll be on it. Tommy Pham, a Pittsburgh Pirate. How does coming into this camp kind of change from 2014, your first couple years?
Whew. Man, it seems like it was so long ago. Just knowing what to do to prepare for the season. When earlier in your career, you kind of don't really know what you need to do for a full season, and when you've been in the game as long as I have, you know what you need to do.
What's one of those things you need to do that you didn't realize?
Certain amount of at-bats, preparation every day in the outfield, making sure I see as many pitches as possible so that once the season starts, you know, you're any ball that's thrown out of the hand, you're picking up spin immediately. Outfield, working on throws to the bases so that when game one starts, you're ready to throw somebody out, accurate, everything.
Is there a number of at-bats you have in your mind going in?
I told them 50.
50,
Yeah.
That's the number. You know, Tommy, I think about you, there's such a human element in even someone like you who've done it at the highest level for such a long time, for someone to say, I want you. And Pittsburgh wanted you for a while. What is that like for you, even a couple years into your career, 11 years in?
It's always good to be wanted.
Always.
Always good to be wanted, but I wanted to be here too.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember talking to Cruz in winter ball, and I told him, man, hey, put in a word for me over here. Then I told Frazier, put in another word for me. We ended up making it happen.
You're always going to a team to fill a void. What do you view your job here as?
Showing up every day, showing guys the way, helping guys be better. You know, I told O'Neal Cruz how much I think highly of him. I feel like he could be a top 5 player if he puts it all together. So I want to push him to that.
I was walking over here to this interview and CY said, he's good at everything except, you know what I'm going to say?
Talk to me. Dominoes. I'm the Dominoes champ. You know, I don't.
He's saying he's the Dominoes champ.
Everyone in the league knows this.
Wait,
coaches, players, everyone in the league.
What makes you
knows
so
this.
good at Dominoes?
My record.
What? Wait, what? What's your record?
Put it like this.
Okay.
If we had an MVP of Dominoes, it's me. You know, I'm the Ohtani of Dominoes.
You're the Ohtani of Dominoes.
Correct.
So are there 2 ways to play? I mean, are you pitching and hitting in
See,
Dominoes? What's the equivalent?
That's what makes me so versatile.
Tell me.
Because I'm able to adapt to your game and still beat you in your game,
one
and
step
or I
ahead.
can play my game. Yeah, it's chess, not checkers.
You play your strengths and their weaknesses.
Correct.
Forget it. By the
see-
way, I knew I was going to interview you, so I brought the bling. How does mine compare to yours?
It's very nice, classy,
Classy,
simple.
understated. CY is not going to be happy with this interview. Derek Shelton is going to be. He's coming up next.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
We are continuing our Grapefruit League coverage. Bradenton, Florida. The Pittsburgh Pirates call this place home. There is a lot to like about this Pirates team, and the man who calls the top step of the dugout home has the responsibility to put it all together. Our manager interviews are presented by Sage. You have a team, Derek Shelton. You told me last year, every year you walk in, you kind of assess what you have. What do you have this year?
Really good starting pitching. I think that's where we kind of we really start. We're built off starting pitching, and I think we're really excited about our group.
You were talking at the winter meetings and said there's a core, we could use a bat or two. What do you think of the winter? How would you assess it?
I'm really happy with where we're at. I mean, we added Andrew Heaney to that starting group. Brian Hayes is healthy, which is really important for us. It's good to see where O'Neill's at, but the vibe around our camp has just been great. I'm really excited.
You have the great starting pitching. You have a few young studs that have now a couple years under their belt. From a strategic standpoint, as a manager, you've gone through the rebuild. You've gone through straight development. Is there a shift in your style when you're trying to balance development and trying to make the postseason at the same time?
Yeah, development, I mean, you're always going to continue to develop at the major league level. I mean, kids are getting to the big leagues so much faster than they had, so you're going to continue to learn, you're going to continue to teach. The big thing now is it's time to win. And that's been the main message. Was the message from day one with our group. All the conversations are about winning, but not just winning, the process to it. You know, one of the things we talk about, you know, being the Pirates, we're going to have to win on the margins. We're going to have to do little things right. I think it starts with Lauren's point. Our starting pitching is going to be what is going to be kind of the core of it, but after that we have to make sure we're doing things right.
You know, it's interesting you said Paul Skenes is big and can pitch a lot of innings. How do you balance, because you're a protector, I know you, protecting this young star with using him, because he'd take the ball every day if he could?
Yeah, I think we have to just be mindful. We have to talk to him. He is built, he does train the right way. We were very thoughtful about what we did with him last year. Sometimes it came with a critique, but we figured at the end of the day, it worked out well. This year, we'll look for those days, but we also know that he put in the work to be able to go after it this year.
CY and I were just talking. It's a mellow, business-like vibe. You're shaking your head yes. What do you guys do for fun? Give me some stories, some spring stuff.
Our group's they're gonna do a putt-putt thing. We're gonna do a poker tournament. So we're doing some cool things, but I love the fact that you're hearing it. It needs to be business-like. It needs to be to the fact that we're getting after it, but there has to be that mellow, all right, that air of confidence, and I think that's really important. It goes back to talking about winning. When you have that air of confidence about you, you put yourself in a good spot.
You have it. It's go time. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
This season, there's a young core around this Pirates team, and there is much more on the way. For more on their top prospects, we'll send it over to Sam Dykstra.
Thanks, Lauren. After seeing Paul Skenes become a Major League sensation from the Pittsburgh Pirates farm system, let's take a look at who could be next for the Buccos. Connor Griffin is years away, but turned some heads as an 18-year-old shortstop/center fielder here in Major League camp. Tamar Johnson already has AA experience as a former first-round pick. And then there are a couple of AAA arms in Thomas Harrington, who has plus control, and Bubba Chandler, who had a sub-2 ERA in Indianapolis last season. But the one guy in that top five who has actually seen the major leagues is Nick York, who joins us now. Nick, thanks so much for being here. This is your first Pirates camp after coming over from the Red Sox in a trade last year. What's your experience been so far?
It's just been a lot of fun. Being able to work with, every level of the staff and working with new teammates and stuff. It's just, it's been a lot of fun and good work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what have they talked to you about? Because you moved between second base, first base, all to get back there to the major leagues. What's been your approach here trying to win a major league job?
Exactly what you said. I'm just doing whatever I can to try to make the opening day roster. I'm trying out new positions, playing wherever they say. And I'm just having fun with it, coming in every day and playing somewhere new. It's been a lot of fun.
Getting that major league experience, how does that affect your offseason, trying to get back there, knowing what it's like to be in the show?
Yeah, it was great, to get a little cup of coffee, to be able to work on this offseason, what, I saw during the end of the year last year. So it was pretty cool, and to share that moment with, Billy Cook and a couple other guys coming up, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and what kind of feedback have you gotten just from facing major league pitchers, and what adjustments have you tried to make this spring?
For me, it was big on pitch selection. I felt like I was chasing a little bit, especially with 2 strikes. So try to hone in on that and, just try to get a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, and this is such a young Pirates core. What is it like being part of this clubhouse and trying to not only fit in as kind of still the new guy, but also there's a movement going on here in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. I was able to play with a lot of the guys in AAA last year too. And then, playing with Tamar and Connor this spring, it was a lot of fun. And it's just exciting, to be here and be a part of it. It's been a lot of fun so far.
All right, well, Nick, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the way this spring. Right back to you, Lauren.
CY, it was just a few years ago we were looking at Paul Skenes as a breakout star. He has completely broken out. 76 wins a year ago. We can do better than that.
They can definitely do better than that. And after talking to the entire crew here, Paul Skenes, Tommy Pham, Andrew McCutchen, I really believe they're going to turn the page. I trust that starting staff. I think they're going to play good defense. I think they're going to find a way to score runs. So call me crazy, Rec, but I really believe they're going to win more than 80 games this year. I think they're going to catch teams off guard.
I had him at 82. I like that. What about a personal prediction?
Personal prediction, I think, let me think. Paul Paul Skenes will win the Cy Young. Let's go with that one.
It's unbelievable, the low-hanging fruit, but I agree. He's such a stud. He walked up, he said, "Hi, I'm Paul." I said, "I know, we know you." Thanks so much for joining us from Pirates Camp. For more 30 clubs in 15 days, go to MLB.com.